This is a JTP audio podcast.
Welcome back to Pint and a Pint. My name's Jason Portizo.
I'm Walter Wilson.
Today we're at Free Will Brewing. Walter, you've been here a few times.
I have. This is probably my fifth time here.
Nice. I was here once with you, and we had some really cool sours.
Oh, yeah, we did.
I've got Joe Farrell.
Joe Farrell.
Joe
Yes.
Farrell.
Yep.
I know you just told me, and I knew a 50-50 chance that I was going to say it wrong again.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's one of those. Joe Farrell, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Doing good.
Cool.
You are the retail manager.
I am.
Cool.
Yes.
And you're kind of the new guy here.
I am. Yeah, I've been here about 3 months now.
Tell me about give me the whole story. Tell me about the brewery. Tell me about tell me about how you got here.
Yeah, sure. I've been here about so like I said, about 3 months now. The brewery itself has been here a little over 9 years. Typical started in two guys' basement, moved into a basement facility down here in Percy, and slowly but surely over time, as they expanded a little bit, they started taking over various spots of the basement, moved things upstairs. Now we have a full 30-barrel production facility, with 60-barrel tanks in the back here. We do contract brewing. We have a pretty extensive barreling program. We have sours that are sitting down still in that original tasting room space that have been aging for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
We have a bunch of fooders in the basement that are just stock full of beer all the time. So,
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool spot, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
We've got this is the biggest flight we've had yet. So you guys do your normal flight and do your monster flight.
Yeah, we call this the Beast Flight.
The Beast Flight.
This is, we only pull this out. This is our Black Friday special.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We got the leftovers. That's good.
It was last week, all right?
Yeah.
We're recording this literally a week after Black Friday in 2020. There's a lot of beer here. I kind of want to dive right into it.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Let's do it.
We'll
Cool.
do the interview while we do it. So
Sweet.
tell me about the number one slot.
All right, number one slot is our flagship, man. This is Craggle. This is the Craggle IPA.
Is it a Lego movie reference?
It is.
Nice.
Yeah, if you kind of look through our catalog, man, you'll see there's a lot of Lego movie references in there.
So what do we have?
It's a West Coast style IPA. This guy's hopped with Simcoe, Citra, Columbus, and Calypso. Yeah, so This is your nice, easy drinking West Coast style, super, citrusy, hop forward. Just that nice, classic, easy drinking West Coast style IPA.
I'm just going to get this out of the way, and I say it every episode that we record on site at the breweries. We've got this heater in this room. We're going to talk about the room too, because the room we're sitting in is very significant.
Yeah, sure.
But there's a heater in this room, so if you guys are judging me on my audio engineering abilities, I'm doing the best I can on this one. So.
I'm a big fan of the West Coast IPA styles, and I like how you definitely get to taste the hops in this, but it's not like the last thing you taste. It's not, once all the beer is gone, it's still the hop taste on your tongue. Like everything comes together really well on this.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, really nicely balanced.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, balanced.
Yep, this has been my go-to after work drink that since I've started here, and
see
even
why.
prior when I was a fan of the brewery as well. I mean, this is just like a really nice classic style IPA that you can go back to all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously, with at least that one movie reference, what's like some of the really nerdy stuff that goes on here? Every brewery we go to has their nerd side.
Oh, sure, absolutely. I'm still trying to learn everybody's ins and outs right now. I know there's a couple secret nerds on staff. You know what I mean? I guess it's not really as nerdy, but I know huge fantasy football community over here, right? So that's not super nerdy. So
Yes, it is.
all right, it is.
It's a different
statistics.
kind.
It's a different kind. Yeah.
Listen,
Right.
fantasy football is D&D for jocks.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Instead of
Yeah.
rolling dice, you're just hoping that guy makes a kick.
Oh, for sure, man. Absolutely.
We're gonna play some D&D on this show today too. So
Yes.
don't worry.
I love it. I threw it in there in my interview questions because I was
yeah,
all right,
yeah,
we're going
we-
to talk about it.
we found it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Now,
Cool.
before
Okay.
we move on, I actually do want to make a mention on your website. It does mention mostly the beers that you here are sours, saisons, and the like.
Correct.
When did the brewery start moving towards IPAs and other styles?
We've always done the IPAs and other
Always,
styles. Yeah. That wasn't like a traditional thing that we just started with the sours and the barrel aged stuff. Like that's just kind of where we're, I think, personally kind of excelling the most. You know what I mean? I think we have definitely one of the biggest barrel programs in the area. And one of the most extensive sour programs. It's one of the things when we do these big events and we do, you were familiar with it, you told me Sour Sunday you came to, you know what I mean? Where we throw, 12 to 15 sours on tap. We do flights the entire day. We do bottle pours. Like it's a pretty huge event because we have that sort of capacity and we have those beers to do that. A big thing for us is always having something for everyone. You know what I mean? Like, I want every single person that walks in that front door to have something to be able to drink. You know what I mean? But for those hardcore beer drinkers to be able to come out and really appreciate those good styles that we do too. You know?
All right, so what do we have next on the list?
All right, so next, this is another one of our flagship IPAs. This one's a little bit different. So this one is Techno. Okay, so Techno is your more like East Coast IPA, like more piney, a little more resinous. Techno is going to be, Centennial, Cascade, Simcoe, and Citra. So again, a little bit of a maltier backbone. And what makes this one a little bit different is you don't see a lot of people doing this anymore, but we actually put a couple of these kegs on nitrogen. So this is actually a nitro pour.
Oh, Nitro IPA.
Yeah, so by the time it came out and we came back here, it probably lost a little bit of complexity. You know what I mean?
It does taste a little bit smoother than normal IPAs, though. So I would never have guessed if you didn't mention that it was on nitro.
Yeah, so it still kind of blows my mind that people ask for these, right? I'll say I was a buyer for a long time, too. I used to run a craft beer bar back in the day. And you always have that, like, infamous nitro line that you don't know what to do with. You know what I mean? Obviously, you're always defaulting to Guinness. There's a lot of breweries, like local. If you're trying to do craft beer, a lot of people aren't putting stuff on nitro. So when people started putting IPAs out on nitro, and I know in this area, Free Will was one of the first to do it. But then you saw big guys like Cape May and a couple other places like throwing nitrogen IPAs out. The fact that they became popular was like mind-blowing to me. So I used to try to use that nitrogen line to keep IPAs on there. I thought it was really cool. So this is something we haven't done in a little while, so we're bringing it back. We threw a bunch of kegs out for distribution in nitro. So, you should be able to see them out there again.
Yeah, that's it's interesting. It's like you do get that hoppy IPA, but it is, like Walter said, kind of softened up by that nitro.
Yeah.
It's a good blend.
Yeah, a little bit different. So.
Yeah, usually I see like a nitro cream ale, nitro milk stout, or something like that. This is definitely, if you like IPAs, I would definitely try this one out.
Yeah, cool.
So you told us that in a past career you were a hairstylist.
Oh, I did. I think I was drunk when I filled out that questionnaire. I'm going to be honest, man.
So if you had to stereotypically attribute a hairstyle to each type of beer.
Oh, okay.
What do we think? Like so a couple of beers walk into a bar. What kind of hair do they have?
Oh man, easy. Okay, so let's go the easiest one, right? We're gonna go hazy IPA. That's the man bun, dude.
Oh yeah,
100%. Tell me how many haze bros? Maybe not so much around here. You know what I mean? It's generally your bigger middle-aged dudes that are drinking hazies now. But I'd say a couple years ago where's the haze bro? That was a big man bun thing.
I was hanging out in Asbury Park at the beginning of the gentrification. So, so yes, I saw the haze bros.
Yes. Easy enough, man.
I was thinking about this too. I'm going to say seltzers.
Yeah.
Get the Currant cut.
Hey, yes, absolutely. Yeah. It's really funny you bring up seltzers. I was having a conversation with one of the owners yesterday. We went out to lunch, and the topic of seltzers comes up because it comes up every once in a while, and you start talking about that stuff, right? Sure. But you've seen a lot of these bigger breweries, right? Not necessarily your big domestic guys. Your big well, they did it too, but I mean like our size, like mid-size and a little bit lower, right? A lot of these guys started trying to get into that game this year, right? And it was, for me, kind of exciting. Not the fact that I drink seltzers, but just like people were trying something different, right? And with the whole pandemic thing that happened, you lost beach parties, you lost fucking beaches, picnics, everything. Like that big sort of like outdoor sort of festival sort of feel where you would be drinking seltzers and lighter stuff in the summertime, like it was gone this year. So hopefully these guys try it again next year and see if they can kind of crack into that market. But yes, Currant cut.
and with that, like, people are stuck home, so they're probably having something heavier where they don't have to go up and work after.
Oh, absolutely. You think I'm going to crack open a seltzer when I go home? No way. I'm going to crack open a 12% barrel-aged beer and fall asleep on the couch.
I'm taking a 14 Imperial coffee stout.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So what kind of beer would have a colored mohawk?
Oh, interesting. It wouldn't be beer at all. No, that's a Jack and Coke.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Could do that.
Yeah. Or to your point, because I'm going to say it's a colored mohawk, as I'm looking at right now. Yeah. That's I'm going to go like a classic like Ode Bruin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Definitely.
Okay. Or like a Flanders, like something like that. Yeah. Right. I think that's kind of where I went. Yeah.
That's where I would go. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Definitely.
Fair. Yep. And shaved heads, stouts, easy. Stouts and porters.
Shaved heads, big beards.
Yep. Shaved heads, big boards. Yeah.
Can confirm. The head's not shaved, but might as well be. It's starting to shave itself. It's been doing it for years. Let's get to the next beer.
Okay, cool.
we
All right.
got?
So next one on the list, kind of threw this one out there because I thought this would be something interesting. This is Some Earthly Delights. This is a grisette, but this is a foeder aged grisette, right? So you get a little bit of like foeder character and a little bit of funkiness to it. It's one of those beers that we have that's kind of like a foray into sour beers. You know what I mean? Trying to get people into into sours, but not like overwhelm them with an Oud Bruin or a Flanders or your big 3-year flour barrel aged type of barrel aged saisons and funky stuff like that. You know what I mean? This is more of like a traditional like French grisette. In the farmhouse style, so a little bit lighter, but just a little bit of funkiness on the nose.
Yeah, definitely smell that. Is that a peach that I'm getting out of that?
Yeah, this one. What's in that? I think this is like lemongrass. I want to say.
No, I was doing that just off the smell. But yeah.
Oh, peach on the smell. Yeah.
Now that I'm tasting it.
Yeah, or like an apricot.
Definitely taste the woodiness from the fooders as well.
Yeah. Grains of Paradise in this one too. Is the other.
Nice.
Yeah, what you're getting there. So.
Now, we only touched a little bit on Sour Sundays. How often are Sour Sundays done?
So we've only done one since the pandemic, and that was
under normal conditions.
Right. Under normal conditions, I want to say it's every month, I think it's every other month.
Okay.
Okay.
Hopefully,
I'll
it'll
get you
get
that
back to
information
the-
for
right.
sure.
Well,
Yeah.
hopefully,
Right.
it's off schedule now.
Yeah.
Things are
right.
kind of funny right now.
Things are a little funny, yeah, for
People
sure.
need something to look forward to, man.
Yes.
I need something to look forward to.
Absolutely.
Any reason to get out of bed.
Yeah, it's funny that we only done one since the pandemic. I think we got one on the books right before it happened, right? So the one we had been advertising for a while, and they hired me, I think, 2.5 weeks beforehand, right? And they were like, "Here you go," and I was like, "What is this?" I knew what it was because I used to I'm from this area and I've been to them plenty of times, but I've never been on this side of it trying to run and like manage, 15 people at once and set the whole thing up. It was insane. It was absolutely insane. I learned my lesson. I know how to do it a little bit better next time. So.
Well, when I came here, the outdoor seating had sold out, unfortunately, and I know that's not something that's normally going to happen because in a non-pandemic kind of situation, you're going to have all the room that you have to be filled up.
For sure, yeah.
But besides, Sour Sunday being a big day for you guys, you had a big day for Black Friday.
Yeah.
What did you guys put out on Black Friday? What was special for you then?
So Black Friday every year is our biggest release, right? That's Ralphius, and that's what we're going to get into next.
Yes.
So Ralphius is our Russian style.
I was thinking about it the whole way here.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have like 20 of them. So.
Yes. Yeah. I have 6 on tap right now. This year we did, I believe, 24 different variants.
I might need another flight before we go.
So that's our big release. So it's Ralphius, right, which is our Russian style big barrel aged beer. And then there's a bunch of different variants of that. And then we also release Ella, which is our barrel aged quad. So that's our biggest release. Typically on Black Friday, this place will have a line of 350 people down the street. People are coming in from out of town doing bottle shares. You know what I mean? One of the owners is outside cooking breakfast sandwiches for people. It's
so
that
cool.
sort of thing.
That's so
super,
cool.
super cool. But, you know what I mean? With the way things are, there's no way that you can have a line of 300 people down the street. Can't. There's no way.
So what'd you do?
So, learned my lesson from that Sour Sunday that you went to. That one where you just kind of let people come in. And it was crazy because I had people come in from out of town 2 or 3 hours away, and I couldn't give them a table. Right? And then you guess that's right.
Right.
Walter and I are 2 hours away from this place.
So, I was scrambling to make room for people, you know what I mean? And then the rain happened, and it was so hard for some of these people that I couldn't get them under the tent, There was only so many tables I could get under the tent. And that just became like a big issue. So it was a huge optics thing, you know what I mean? That line happened again, and trying to mitigate that was one of the number one things I wanted to do for Black Friday. So myself, the other retail manager, Liv, who couldn't be with us tonight, we sat down with the brand manager, Andrew. We discussed a couple of things, and we sat down with the owners, and we decided this year that, unfortunately, we would have to go all online sales, So in years past, there was this room that's up front that we would have like all of these pallets full of cases of Ralphius, right? Somebody would come in and say like, I want this, and this. And you build the order right there, bing, bang, boom. You know what I mean? They hand you the money, out the door you go, right? This year we decided to do it all pre-sales online. We launched it the Saturday before Black Friday at 9 a.m. And we had, I think he said like 200 people literally waiting in the checkout for it to open up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was like we had that line, but it was virtual. So it was still kind of exciting for us, you know what I mean? And we were just blown away by the amount of sales. It was absolutely crazy. But to that point, the amount of online orders that we had to build was completely insane. Like, we don't have the space for that here. We have a huge facility, don't get me wrong, but we didn't have that extra space. So luckily we were gifted. Not so much gifted. We lucked into this part of the building, right? So we have a temporary space here. You're sitting in this temporary pop-up beer hall, and there's also another space to the back here, right? It's kind of like the same square footage, but over there too. So we'll
take a walk around after this, and as always, we'll take some pictures and put them up on our Instagram.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're listening, that's at
Sure.
at Flight in a Pint out on Instagram. You can go follow us there and check out pictures from this.
Cool, awesome. So we had, I think, 850 orders in the first day that we had to build. Wow. So yeah, we were working around the clock to get stuff ready. And the day of, I just had a crew sitting on that back loading dock, and people were I did curbside pickup that I've seen a lot of the big guys do, like who does that? Treehouse, other half. Who's the other ones that? Warwick Farm was doing that recently too. Like, awesome stuff where people just like pull up, you know what I mean? Give your order number, grab your beer, put it right in your car, drive off. You know what I mean? No coming inside, no line. It was great. So it worked phenomenally for us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There's something about, like, you know, a well-oiled machine like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to just say that I miss the chaos of a real Black Friday.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm talking like 5-6
Sure.
years ago when it was before there was, you know, Gray Thursday or like opening on Thanksgiving Day or whatever. I'm talking lining up right after dinner on Thursday, staying there until 3 o'clock in the morning when they open the doors. I wasn't working. I was working retail a little bit during then, but like a year or two before I worked retail, I would line up and just try to nab some cool electronics for myself, really. But it was I missed that chaos.
Yeah, it was that chaos. Punch somebody in the face, get a cheap TV.
Yeah. Oh, it was cheaper than a mosh pit. It was great.
Oh man.
Mosh pit, you walk out with maybe a drumstick if you're lucky, a guitar pick if they flick one out.
Yeah,
Black Friday,
or chlamydia.
That's
right.
Listen, that's a gift that keeps on giving. Black Friday, when you walk out with a TV, or half a TV,
half
you find
TV,
it at the same time. So we have we're talking about the Ralphius.
Yeah, we're talking about Ralphius.
We got
So
Ralphius next on the list.
Yep. So this is base Ralphius. This is just, like I said, Russian
Ralphius.
style OG Ralphius. Yep.
Ooh, smells strong.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is a Imperial Russian.
Russian style Imperial.
Russian style
We'll call it.
Imperial.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Yeah. So base clocks in at 15.6%.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Aged in bourbon barrels. This is just your base. This is your basic Ralphie.
That is that's chewy.
Yeah.
That's,
Well, you definitely get the bourbon flavor coming
Yes,
through.
definitely.
Yes. Yeah.
And how many variants of the Ralphius do you carry?
Right now, so this year we had 24 variants of the Ralphius. Yeah. So
without
that base
checking your
one.
notes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
What are they?
So see if I can list them off.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna do 24 seriously right now. Okay. So
I feel like that's more your fault than mine. Okay.
sure. Yeah. No. You're not wrong. Okay. I'm gonna go out.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can see that he's doing this legit. If you're listening to this on the podcast, I'm watching him. He's got no notes in front of him.
Okay.
Can he do it?
Can I do it? All right. So I'm gonna go by order of how they sold out. Okay. So base Ralphius. Okay. And that sold out first because vertical pairings. Right.
Okay.
So that was my whole thing that I thought of. I was like, people are putting them in their basement. Because I had a lot of people come in, they were saying, like, I'm going to compare this to the 14, 15, 16, so on and so forth.
Oh, cool.
So base Ralphius, coffee Ralphius, double barrel aged Ralphius, 2-year aged Ralphius, decadent chocolate, go down the line, aromatic bitters barrel aged, rye barrel aged, cinnamon chili, orange chocolate, coconut chocolate, sarsaparilla, s'mores, white chocolate macadamia, mocha latte. Oh, I'm missing one. Vanilla. Wait, is that all the Ralphius?
That's 15.
It's 15. I may have just lied to you. Wait, there's got to be more.
Were you lying to me then or now? Because you can't remember the rest.
Both.
I'm going to assume he did it right.
Yep.
Good job. Walter, tell him when he's won.
He's won some more Ralphius that he's drinking right now.
Nice.
Cheers.
So did we. Would do way less work. That is, oh my God. Like, and you can see these other beers here. Like, I drink these pretty quick. God, that is not happening on this one.
You can't chug this
or
one.
the next,
Yeah.
no.
It's a cheap
why
warmer.
would you want to?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Oh
this
my
is a
God.
sipping beer for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, this is it's 15 point.
15.6.
15.6.
Yeah. So
Definitely feel like this could warm me up before a snowy day.
Sure.
yeah.
So the coolest thing I think about Ralphius this year, right? So we kind of changed things around a little bit. So we've always done our most popular styles in cans, right? So we do the bottle releases, which people love to barrel age that stuff, share them with friends. But then we did the 12-ounce cans in the past, which 12 ounces of a beer like this is still a lot if you're by
Yeah, it
yourself.
is.
You know what I mean? So this year, for the first time ever, we switched over to 8.4 ounce cans.
I saw that.
Like the little Red Bull
cans.
Yeah, little Red Bull cans. So as far as we know, I did a little bit of research on it. We're only the second brewery in the country to use them. The first one being 21st Amendment, I think back in like 2013.
Oh, wow.
But then somebody just told me somebody out of Chicago is doing it too. So, it is what it is. But
Listen,
still,
top three still good.
yeah, absolutely. Top three is still good. So 8.4 ounces, perfect size to be able to share, or not even share, just drink by yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, 8.4
Little
is
nightcap.
that's a serving.
Absolutely.
12 is a lot.
Yeah, because when you get into some of the bigger ones, like the double barrel age and stuff, you're talking 17.6%. Yeah, I mean, that's...
Yeah, 12 ounces of that is fantastic, but probably irresponsible.
It's a night.
Now, drinking 3 of the 8.4
Oh, my God.
is, that's
that's fine.
that's fine.
You're
That's,
okay.
that's a little more.
Totally okay.
They're small. You just
Right.
keep drinking them.
Seems like if you have a little trouble sleeping, you might be able to have a little bit of this before bedtime.
Oh, yeah. So speaking of the fact that we did cans, I don't know, you guys know the brewery life a little bit, right? During like canning days and production days, sometimes when the canner switched over and stuff like that, you get low fill cans. Now, we had low fill cans of Ralphius that we got to take home.
Nice.
So I had half a case of low fill Ralphius cans that I was like, I got to drink these before they go bad.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
See you next week, guys. We got a friend working for a brewery over by us, and he calls us up all the time. It's like, I got some half fills for you. But like, we will be right there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We've got some real fun stuff that
Right.
way. Go make friends with brewery people.
Yeah. Oh,
Talk
yeah.
about half
Absolutely.
fills.
Oh, sure.
They'll let you in.
Yep. Oh my God. Yeah, that's
And
like
if you work for a brewery, give your friends half fills. You'll make friends that way.
yeah, especially because like if you have a shitty canning line, not here, but other places I've worked in the past, like crappy canning lines, you'll get a lot of cases, and generally, especially if they're IPAs or like pretty volatile beers, like 1 or 2 days before that stuff starts to oxidize. You know what I mean? So. The brewer at my last place would always like hand cases out and just be like, you have to drink these tonight. And like, I've got a 110-pound girl with like a case of 7.5% IPA, and she's like, really?
Don't share
it.
fired.
Yeah, don't share it on social media. Don't give it to your friends.
That's rough homework.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, it's worth noting that, you'll say I'm not going to share it with any friends, but we all know.
Exactly.
Let's be fair. I like to travel a lot of places, try new strange beers. I don't think I've had a bottle to myself in forever because I just like to bring them home and share.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's why I make bottles.
Right.
They're multiple servings for a reason. It's an excuse to have friends. We've got another Ralphius here.
Okay, so we're gonna go down the line. So the next one that I put for you is the Zinn whiskey Ralphius, right? Which this is one of my favorite stones. My favorite, actually, of these varieties has been the rye. I think the rye brings out such like a beautiful peppery character. The barrels just really, really make that beer shine, right? This one's a little bit different, right? So this is using barrels from Kinsey. Okay, so they have a whiskey that they make that is aged in Zinfandel barrels, right? Now, the barrels that they get, you won't see this a lot on social media, but this is something I talked to one of the barrel guys about. The barrels that they get, the Zinfandel barrels, are from the winery in California that won Best in Paris or whatever it was, like back in like 2008. I don't know if you remember that movie, The Bottle Shock, that came out.
familiar.
No, it was like a California brewery California winery that beat a bunch of like French and Italian wineries out for like a white wine competition, and it was like a big stink around it. So it's from that it's from that winery.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they get the Zinfandel barrels, age their whiskey in it, and then we took those and aged our Imperial Stout in it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great smell.
Wow, I taste much more whiskey in this one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. It's almost like whiskey first on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of a beer that tastes like whiskey, this is almost like a whiskey that tastes like beer.
Yeah, yeah.
What's this clock in at?
This one is the higher.
Oh, good.
17.5.
17.5.
17.5, yeah.
I have to drive home tonight.
Definitely the highest we've had on this show. This might be one of the highest
Oh, yeah?
I've had either in my collection or possibly this. I don't know if I've had anything higher.
Really? Okay.
From breweries, it seems like they're either scared to put out like a high alcohol content, or maybe even depending on some state laws, you might not be able to put out something that high.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, so this is definitely the strongest I've ever had at a brewery. Definitely.
Okay, yeah.
It's got to be difficult to get much higher than this without changing your brewing process, which then you have to, at least in New Jersey where we're at, in certain processes, they are closer to distilling and they have to get a different license.
Right. Yep, makes sense.
No, it almost is like a glass of liquor at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, it still tastes delicious, like some really good, sweet beer, but man, it's so strong.
Yeah.
It's like a whiskey that's not like making you make the face.
Right.
Sure, right. And you're you're getting a lot of that like tobacco and like Currant on the back end, like stuff that you would get from like a big old vine Zinn. That's what I love. It like pulls out like some of these deep, dark, like deep chocolatey flavors out of that beer too. You know what I mean? That you would get from like a big red wine.
Yeah. And that's strange too, to have like a whiskey barrel that sat in Zinfandel, or like whiskey that sat in Zinfandel barrels, and then put beer in. That's interesting.
Right. This is one of my favorite. I think it's one of the most complex ones that we have. And when that warms up a little bit too, like you get so many more flavors out of it. It's super cool.
That's definitely my favorite. Having a little bit of room temperature kind of stout kind of thing.
Stouts definitely, yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
IPAs not so much.
although we have had on this show some when we have an interview that goes on for a while, we have we have an IPA in the last slot. We've had some IPAs that get interesting when they warm up. Just a little room temperature IPA, that like a good IPA that has a lot going on, that has like a ton of hops and a lot of different stuff. You can pick some really cool stuff out of it that it being chilled might hide.
Yes, I'll tell you what. Going room temperature with like spicy IPAs, like habanero based IPAs, amazing.
Oh yeah.
A couple years back, I got in a conversation with somebody. I brought home, remember, a 6-pack of habanero Sculpin, right? And it was like one of my favorite beers. And just letting that like sit, put it on the coffee table, got in a conversation, and just like kept cracking them open like one after another. And by the time we got to the last ones, they were warm, and it was amazing. It brought out like so much heat and so much flavor in the beer. It's insane. Yeah.
That sounds great. However, I had a friend who used to put Pabst Blue Ribbon on the stove and let that warm up before he would even open it.
Oh God! You know what that reminds me of? Like being a teenager and hiding that 12-pack of Natty Ice under the bed, and it's like too close to the vent. Then your friends come over and you're handing out lukewarm Natty Ices. Yeah,
gross. It's terrible. You got to chug it, man.
Take half a sip and pretend you're drunk for the rest of the night.
Cool. So, we've been talking a bunch about the beers already. What are some of the good reasons that would bring people back to the brewery?
Oh, back here?
Yeah.
Oh man, definitely the staff. Staff over here, everybody like knowledgeable, super friendly. We just like to host, man. Like it's for me, breweries are all about the experience. You know what I mean? And that's why coming into a place like this that already has that established history and whatnot, like the beer for the most part sells itself, right? Obviously, you need somebody to sell the beer and talk about the beer, but having somebody that's knowledgeable, respectful, and actually passionate about the product behind the bar, I think is one of the most important things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have beer tours, like touring the brewery, has that gone down since the pandemic?
Yeah, I don't know how a lot of other people are doing it, but over here we're just 100%. I mean, I think you guys are probably the first people that we've let back here other than the UPS guy. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, the main reason I asked is because while I was walking back here, I saw something that was really cool and I want to ask you about. It seems like every tank you have back there has a different name on it. What's that about?
Yeah, right. That was a brewer thing. Like those guys all named those tanks. I'm still trying to figure out the intricacies to each one and what each one means.
The nomenclature.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's save that for the second one, the next podcast. What I'm here for a couple more months,
We'll
and I
get
can
more
figure
into
out.
it.
Yeah.
We're probably going to do a run of follow-up episodes once
Awesome. I
once
love it,
COVID
yeah.
once COVID's a distant memory.
Yeah.
And we can actually do once the places are back to like what they want to be doing and everything, and what we want them to be doing. We're probably going to do a run of these early episodes.
I love it. That'd be great.
Because this
Yeah.
is episode 7.
Oh, that's it.
So we're still new.
Oh, cool. So like, nobody's going to hear this, right?
No. You could say anything about anybody you want today.
Okay. First,
Okay, cool.
First off, ouch.
But next time we come, that might be a different story.
Yeah.
Well, since no one's going to
Man.
hear, let's talk about the stupid next beer then.
Yeah. I'll put my least favorite on the list for you.
Awesome.
Glad no one heard you say that the beer doesn't sell itself, because then that was your job security no one's hearing about. All right, we got one left in the flight.
Okay.
We're going to pour a pint together.
All right. Sounds good. All right. So you guys came in and you saw out of the corner of your eye the last 4-pack that we have in existence of Monster Mash.
It was
right?
glowing like
Yeah. So
like the
Like a quest marker. It was just for us.
yes. So the Mash series is our kettle sour series, right? Obviously, like the big fruited kettle sour, like Berliner Weisses. That's a huge thing right now, right? I want to say maybe 2.5 years ago, that whole thing started taking off.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that really, really worked well for us. Is kind of our take on it. It's almost like more of like I don't want to say pie. It's not like a pie series. It's just still that like fruited Berliner Weiss style beer with like different stuff added. But we didn't want to do that like super, crazy tropical fruit thing that everybody else is doing. You know what I mean? Like we do things a little bit differently. So the one that you guys were raving about, right, was the Monster Mash, which was blood orange and chocolate. That did really, really well for us.
marshmallow, too. That
With
was-
marshmallow.
yeah.
Yep, that was marshmallow, yeah. This one is our pumpkin
fascinating.
pie.
One of the just most interesting beers I've had. That was so good.
Yeah. Again, let that one warm up a little bit and just get, I think you get a lot more chocolate out of that once it warms up a little bit more, too.
I did with the apple mash, the apple pie mash.
Yeah, you get a lot more flavor out of it.
Yeah.
So this is the pumpkin pie mash. So this one's, your typical pumpkin puree, nutmeg, allspice, cinnamon, vanilla.
It smells sweeter than a normal pumpkin type beer that I've had in the past.
Yep.
Sweeter, I'm getting that cinnamon at first. Or cinnamon or nutmeg or pretty similar
Oh
smell.
man, it's so good. And you know what? I'm not a fan of pumpkin pie, but this is so good. It's really, really good.
I was kind of blown away by this one. I was really not expecting it. You know what I mean?
And it's not super pumpkin-y.
Right.
It's almost
Yeah.
like orange or tangerine, like a little closer to that kind of palate,
Yeah.
rather than like that warmer pumpkin flavor.
I get
Yep.
that pumpkin
It's there. It's
after.
definitely
It's there, yeah.
And
Yep.
you know what? I think I don't like cinnamon so much in beers, but for some reason it works really good with the sour base. Like the cinnamon and the sour work so good together.
Hey, that's that Thanksgiving ballot.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's kind of a little bit of our answer to a lot of people still asking for pumpkin beers. When it starts getting cold out. Sure. Our fall beer sold out. I think right at the beginning of August. Scarecrow is like one of our big popular releases, and we went through that like right away. And we decided to add a couple more things to the calendar, and we put pumpkin pie mash on. And this is kind of like our answer to, the Berliner Weiss trend, but with a pumpkin twist.
Now I know you haven't been with Free Will Brewing for that long, but how many different varieties of the mash do you know of?
I know of at least 6.
Okay.
Right, and then we have one more coming out. This airs in 2 weeks?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so we can talk about it because it's coming out in 2 weeks,
Awesome.
right?
Exclusive.
Yeah. So the next mash.
By the time you hear it, yeah.
By the time you hear it, right. The next mash that's coming out is Fool's Gold mash, right? Fool's Gold sandwich is a sandwich from this restaurant, I think, Colorado, which it's a big hollowed out piece of bread stuffed with a full jar of peanut butter, a full jar of grape jelly, and bacon.
All right, so we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
For this,
Yeah,
for this
so I've
new
seen
release.
I've seen the head brewer and some of the brewers and stuff carrying stuff around. I'm going like, oh, I know what that is. I know what you're testing out right now.
When does that release?
That releases in 2 weeks. I want to.
In 2 weeks, okay.
Oh yeah, and okay. So one of the ones that I'm familiar with beforehand. So that's the 19th. This one comes out, and then next weekend is the black currant chocolate mash.
Wow.
Yeah, and I remember having that one pre-pandemic, before, like when I was still like a fan of these guys. You know what I mean? I mean, just a fan. Not that I'm not a fan anymore.
Right.
That's not what I mean.
I got you.
I still it helps select the beer that you
Good,
you know
good
that you
save,
sell.
but we got you.
But I remember being I don't know, a little like Sunday afternoon drunk and left my 4-pack of black currant chocolate mash like sitting on the table that I had just bought, and I went back like 2 days later. It was already sold out, and I was like, "Damn."
Yeah, last time we came, I think we didn't have a chance to try the blueberry mash because it maybe just kicked or something. We were trying to get more of the monster mash to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've had the monster mash, the apple pie, the pumpkin, and I mean, they're all great. I can't wait for every new one. I mean, bacon in one? That's going to be awesome.
That's going to be crazy in a sour. I'm super excited how that's going to work out. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's that's going to be worth the drive coming back for that.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into our pint.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds good.
We're gonna set that up, and we're gonna come back right after this. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. That might be something. That might work. I don't know.
I bet you're going to keep that in, aren't you?
Yes, that's a transition. Listen, I'm an audio guy, not a
Director?
visual effects artist that can seamlessly blend these two takes together. We're back with our pint.
Oh, hey.
Joe, what do we have?
You are drinking This Wind. This is a Norwegian-style farmhouse ale.
Norwegian style. Does Norwegian style differ from a different or any other kind of style of farmhouse?
It does. This is the change in this is the yeast. Yeah. So my understanding of this one kind of snuck out of the blue. I think it came on right before it came on, so I didn't get too much in on this. And I just put another keg of this back on. I grabbed one because I wanted a little bit lighter because we were drinking Ralphius for a little bit. But
Good call.
I think this is their first foray a little bit into the Kvike yeast, which is getting a little bit more popular around this area. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard a lot of people using Kvike yeast for IPAs and stuff like that. I haven't really heard them using for farmhouse.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's the research I've done on this is that's the traditional way that farmhouse ales are brewed over in Norway. So, yeah. There's a whole bunch more into it. Right. You know what I mean? Bunch of words I can't pronounce.
If we want to get into the science of it, right?
I'd rather. You want me to pull up a Wikipedia page real quick? Yeah.
I don't want to Google it in front of you.
Yeah.
This is very nice. Typical, when I have a farmhouse beer, I usually have a funk or what they call horse blanket or anything like that. I don't taste that here. It's a little bit more sweet. And is that maybe probably from the Kvike yeast?
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that farmhouse funk isn't really there, which is fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know, Walter, you go chasing the farmhouse funk, but
right.
The funkier, the better.
Oh, yeah.
That's
absolutely.
A lot smoother.
Sure.
This clock's in about 5-ish?
Yeah. It's about 5%.
Okay.
Yeah. It's delicious.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's a lot lighter than what we've had for the rest of the day.
I know. That's what I figured. I was looking at that board and I was like, get these guys something light. So, right. That's the garage door coming down over there.
Leave it in, because I don't feel like editing. All right. Sure. You're a D&D fan.
Oh, you better believe it, dude.
So we brought some
Get
dice.
out of here.
All right. We're going to play a little game here.
All right.
Let's see. You're going to find yourself a D20. I'm sure there's a couple in there somewhere. Did I grab? I grabbed one.
Yeah,
There's
I've got
one.
one.
Let's see. Let's find another one. There's two more.
Okay.
All right. Walter, you take your pick.
I'll take the almost blue one.
I literally never rolled these dice, so they have no residual bad rolls on them.
Yay.
No bad
That's what I like
juju.
to hear. Okay, cool.
Yeah, they have to be broken in. All right,
Nice.
so we're going to roll initiative. Ready?
All right.
I got 13.
Oh, got a 7.
Yeah, I've got a bonus added to mine that gives me +5, so
Cool.
I've got 22
Nice.
initiative.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah. I got a -2 to my initiative.
You could have absolutely,
Pretty low decks, so.
I don't know. I used to play when we did initiative with D10s.
So
Yeah.
we're going to play a little game where we just kind of off the top of our head make a D&D character based around their favorite style of beer.
Ooh. Okay.
And just to kind of prep us for while Walter's thinking about it, we are kicking around an idea. There's going to be other podcasts under the JTP audio blanket.
Yeah.
We're working on a D&D podcast, so keep an eye out for whatever it ends up being
Oh,
called.
really? That's awesome.
We'll
I was
keep an eye out
trying
for
to do
that.
that a little while ago. Yeah, that's cool.
You and everybody else. So find us getting lost in the flood of D&D podcasts.
Got to tell you, the hardest part of a D&D podcast is coming up with a good name.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
There is a hook to this to the show, and I don't want to give it away before the thing comes out.
Sure.
We're probably going to call it useless side quests or something along those lines.
Hey, there you go.
Side quest adventures,
Cool.
something like that. So keep an eye out for whatever D&D thing JTP Audio puts out. Look for that at some point. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
So a D&D character based off a style of beer. All right. So I'm going to have to create a bard. And the bard usually lives in farmhouses because obviously his favorite style is farmhouse style beer. He will be wearing a very thick horse blanket and nothing else but leather. And you have a little bit of spices in his hand, and he will play a mandolin.
All right.
Hey, okay.
Is it
cool.
like strappy bondage leather?
No, it's just any leather that he could find, because if he's not drinking a nice funky farmhouse, he's chewing on that leather.
So his charisma's not that high.
Yeah.
No. No, he's got a charisma of about 3 or 2. You don't really want to hang out with this
bad
guy.
bard.
Ooh,
but,
yeah.
But he can definitely buff your drunkenness.
Hey, all right. Cool.
Is his version of inspiration just getting you drunk and you feel like you can do it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's how he makes it through the day, you know?
You roll with a bonus, but it doesn't really count.
It's a -0 bonus. So if there's any negative zeros, that's what he is.
I don't know if I should go for the super obvious easy one or if I should make something a little more fun. Let's make something fun here. So let's go around. Well, you guys are kind of known for your sours and saisons. So let's go with. If I'm thinking sours. Actually, no. I want to build something around that Zinfandel barrel age.
Okay.
Something
cool.
very complex, super high ABV. This is
Right.
definitely going to be a high elf.
Okay.
This is going to be, some like really not too snooty. He's gonna know what he's talking about, but he's not going to be an arrogant ass about it. So so high intelligence. He would be something high intelligence. He would be a wizard. But working on, he might multi into like alchemist.
Okay.
I was going to say barbarian because it's 17.5%.
Oh, yeah. The toughest guy out there.
The D10 or D12 HP.
He's going to need to drink 12 Ralphius to get a buzz.
Oh, am I up?
What you got?
Okay. I'm going to preface this real quick with saying that I play Pathfinder.
Okay, that's
All right,
fair.
Cool.
Close
okay.
enough.
I've been GMing Pathfinder for probably like 8 years.
Nerd's gonna nerd.
Yeah, nerd's gonna nerd. But I got my feet wet in D&D, Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, and then 3.5, and morphed into Pathfinder over time. So I'm gonna go with character I've always wanted to play, and I think it fits into this, right? Because I haven't played a character in a long time. I'm a forever DM. It's what happens. The character's old Nan, right? Everybody calls her Nan. Old woman, bakes a lot of pies, right?
Human?
She's a human,
Okay.
right? She's kind of a hellraiser in her youth, right? Used to work for the church, okay? So typically older people into Pilsners, right? But she's kind of a badass, right? Like secret badass. So I'm going to go with Imperial Pilsner. So she's going to be an old lady cleric. So she's going to take that old age level dip, you know what I mean? So she's going to be a little wiser, a little more intelligent, a little more charismatic, but a little weaker. So,
Okay.
yeah.
No, you take one level of wizard, you can get it to be a witch.
Hey, is that some of that D&D mumbo jumbo?
Does Pathfinder not multi-class? Weird.
Oh, we do. Yeah, we do.
Well, it's, speaking of that,
We have a lot more classes.
and I might be wrong, so if anybody's watching plays Pathfinder and Dungeons and Dragons at the same time, this is completely wrong, but I feel like a lot of people who played Dungeons and Dragons 3.5 kind of moved over to Pathfinder as opposed to moving on with Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
It seems like they like it a little bit better.
Yeah, it explains, honestly, I think it's because of grappling. Yeah, that's why. Because grappling in 3.5 was such a friggin' mess. You know what I mean? Pathfinder at least was like, oh, we have a system for it. And we're like, it's still a mess, but it's a better mess. Yeah.
I think that's a little better in 5e, but that's a different podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Joe, thanks so much for sitting and hanging out with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me,
excellent
man.
beer,
This is cool.
really, really good spread, the largest spread we've had yet.
Cool.
So we, oh man, we gotta think about all that beer we just drank.
We might
On your
have to take an
2-hour
Uber
drive
home.
home.
It's going to be a big Uber bill.
Like $700 Uber home. Where can we find more information about Free Will Brewing?
You can find us at freewillbrewing.com.
All right.
Yep. Or, I mean, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Cool. Yeah,
We're all over the
we'll
place.
tag everything, of course.
Sweet.
This is a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Fun?
this is super
Everybody
cool.
have fun?
Yeah,
you guys
absolutely.
You guys listening at home have fun? I'm sure you did. We're going to Dora the Explorer this one.
And everyone, when you see this episode, definitely come out and get that new mash that is coming out in 2 weeks when this releases.
Yeah, but don't do it until we get ours because we don't want them to sell out
Be a little
before
upset.
we get there. We want them to sell out eventually, but like we want to get ours first.
Right, and don't be upset if it doesn't come out.
No, we'll wait longer. It's okay.
Because I'm just looking at the calendar, that's all.
That's fine. We'll wait longer.
This has been a lot of fun. Of course, we are Flight in a Pint. You can find all of our stuff at flightinapintpodcast.com. Follow us on Instagram at Flight in a Pint. Facebook and YouTube are the same. All those links are there. You can follow us on Patreon and help support the show, Patreon/Flight in a Pint. Pictures from everything that we're doing today will be up on the Instagram at Flight in a Pint. I think that's about everything.
Yep.
I gotta work on this closer.
Oh, no.
Now he gets the 18.
No, man.
You better watch out. He's about to attack you.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Cheers.
Have a good one.
This has been a JTP Audio podcast. Thanks for listening.